Houston, we got a box office bomb here.
By all accounts, First Man is an excellent film, filled with great performances from stars like Ryan Gosling and Claire Foy. So why isn't anyone going to see it? Here's a look at why First Man has bombed at the box office so far. On paper, First Man should be a hit. Ryan Gosling excels with another masterful performance as Neil Armstrong, the first man to walk on the moon, while rising star Claire Foy has been earning accolades portraying Armstrong's wife. And the talent behind the camera is just as impressive as the talent in front of it. Damien Chazelle won the Best Director Oscar for La La Land, and he's brought with him Oscar-winning La La Land composer Justin Hurwitz to provide the music. And it's all based on an acclaimed biography about the man at the center of one of the greatest accomplishments in human history. So why is it underperforming at the box office? As the only major release of the weekend of October 12th, First Man should have had smooth sailing. Instead, it got caught up in a crazy whirlwind thanks to the battle between two holdover releases from the previous week, A Star is Born and Venom. Despite bad reviews, Venom managed to claw its way to the top of the box office 2 weeks in a row, but it was locked in a death struggle the whole way with the acclaimed remake A Star is Born. Between the flash of Lady Gaga's star power and the over-the-top craziness of Tom Hardy's alien anti-hero, Ryan Gosling's understated quietude was drowned out in the noise, leaving First Man the odd man out.
Outstanding! Now, let's bite all the heads off and pile them up in the corner. Why would we do that?
The good news for First Man is that critically acclaimed adult dramas often have long legs compared to front-heavy superhero fare like Venom. Unfortunately for First Man though, even if Venom burns itself out at the box office, there's another film waiting in the wings to claim the box office crown. Halloween, earning a stellar $10 million from Thursday night previews alone. Halloween is on pace for an estimated $70 million opening weekend. That's on pace to easily win the weekend and likely bury First Man even further down the depth chart. When shiny new hits are dominating the conversation every week, it's hard to generate buzz, even if you're Buzz Aldrin. First Man has already made back more than half of its estimated $59 million budget, so even if it hasn't been a huge hit so far, it didn't exactly crash and burn, right? Well, not so fast, because that figure doesn't take into account one of the film's biggest costs, marketing. While there's no way to know how much money Universal has spent trying to get butts into seats, typically advertising costs run about half the cost of the film's budget. Bump that $59 million figure up to $90 million, and the outlook starts to seem a lot less rosy. They say there's no such thing as bad press, but while the drummed-up controversies surrounding First Man may not have hurt the film's box office, they certainly haven't helped things either. So what are internet trolls pretending to be upset about this time? Well, because the finished cut doesn't highlight the planting of the American flag in the moon landing scene, some people felt First Man wasn't nationalistic enough. And needless to say, those same people weren't too pleased when star Claire Foy used a Washington Monument metaphor to suggest that President Donald Trump is, quote, the giant penis of America.
But you're a bunch of boys making models out of balsa wood. You don't have anything under control.
Even though First Man has had a disappointing debut, there's still hope that it will eventually turn a profit or even become a hit. That's because we've literally seen this before. In 1983, The Right Stuff, which was also about America's space program, debuted to poor box office figures and limped along in theaters for weeks, until it earned 8 Academy Award nominations, generating huge buzz and leading to a commercial resurgence. Despite being released in October, The Right Stuff's biggest box office weekend was at the end of February following a huge re-release prior to the Oscars. With Academy Award buzz already building around Gosling and Foy, it looks like Universal's best hope is to play the long game and hope First Man catches fire on re-entry.